What up? Happy Friday. What a week. Long week of work. Not much to talk about. Um, I got a show tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, out of state in front of a group that I've never performed before. So I'm gonna run in some jokes a little bit. Oh my God, my head is itching from work. I need a shower, gotta shave, gotta get all this crispy because I want to make a good first impression to this audience. But you know what I mean? I'm gonna get busy, man. I'm gonna do my thing. I ain't concerned about it or nothing like that. This is what I do. This is what I've been practicing, and this is what I have been doing. You know, 40. How old am I? I'm about to say 48. I might as well. On my way to there, you know, feeling relative great health that a 48-year-old man could possibly feel. You know, found my purpose on this planet. Comedy, folks laugh. Oh, I've been making folk laugh pretty much my entire life, but I put a name to it, made a career out of it when I started in 2014. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know I was doing stand-up comedy all these years, or just a version of comedy. No, I knew I was being comical, and I called myself a comedian jokingly, but I never referred to myself as a stand-up until I started doing stand-up. But anyway, bump all that, get through this real quick. Featuring tomorrow, so 20 to 30 minutes of time that I'm doing. So I figured I'll give you that much time. I don't trust people that don't like pancakes. If you are an individual that does not like pancakes, you cannot be trusted. Because how could a person not appreciate those golden, fluffy discs of deliciousness with the crisp edges? That's like saying, I don't even like orgasms. I'm good, man. You can't be trusted, man. I did a research paper when I was in state college, and it said that the one thing that Adolf Hitler, Genghis Khan, and Joe Stalin have in common is none of them fancy breakfast pastries. So if me and a homie going out to eat in the morning time and I notice they have wheat toast with no butter, an egg with no salt, a boiled egg without salt, and some black coffee, I'm just going to assume that you have Mein Kampf in your library, because you got to be a sociopath not to enjoy the fluffy golden discs of buttery perfection with the crisp edges, man. I got my CDL. I deliver propane for a living. And early this year, I was in Brattleboro, Vermont during the wintertime. If you know anything about Brattleboro, especially during the winter, they're known for two things: cold weather and maple syrup. So you know what that means? The women are very hairy and buxom. And as I'm driving around and I'm delivering these tanks, I notice Brattleboro is beautiful, man. You got the beautiful flowing green mountains, the architecture, the clear streets, very Hallmark Christmas card-like, especially in the wintertime. Then I thought to myself, there's no thugs in Vermont, man. Ain't no thugs in Brattleboro. You ain't never seen a goon on a Christmas card. And just as I said that, I'm driving, about to go to my next delivery stop, and I see this black dude walking down the street with a bucket hat, book bag, baggy jeans, and all black. And I thought to myself, that man's in witness protection. That man is not there by choice. It is a court order. He snitched on the entire organization. He told on everybody. So the only thing he has to do is enjoy pancakes and his maple syrup with his hairy, buxom women. They have matching flannels. He drives the Subaru while she's at work. Because I heard the Subaru is the vehicular mascot for Brattleboro, Vermont. Now, a lot of white folks is racist, but it's not your fault, because racism is a learned behavior. But the funny thing is, not a lot of you individuals learn racism for the most obvious of places. Some of y'all don't. Y'all don't learn it from your family. Y'all don't learn it from your friends. Y'all don't even love it. Learn it from your loved ones, man. Like I told y'all, you know, I drive a propane truck, you know what I'm saying, in Brattleboro, Vermont. And as I'm driving through the countryside, I always notice it's a lot of innocent white children playing, man. And whenever the young white kids see big truck driving through their neighborhood, they do this sign, the universal sign for the air horn. And they are expecting the bah, bah, bah. My truck don't got an A horn, yeah? My truck don't got an air horn. All I got is the beep, beep, beep. It sounds like a hummingbird. It sounds ridiculous. And I don't want to disappoint the children and make myself look foolish. So whenever they do this, I don't even look at them, man. I give the stone. I give the stone face look. I look right ahead, drive right past them, ignore them, man. And I'm thinking to myself, little Timmy, that probably was his first interaction with a black person, perceiving that I was being a jerk to Holmes, man. So because my vehicle don't got the right equipment 20 years from now, he probably gonna be one of the next Proud Boys, man. And if we learn anything in this situation, air horns can stop racism. Air horns can potentially stop racism. But I'm glad I got this full-time job, man. Just had to step my game up. Needed that consistent income. Comedy ain't really taking off yet. So, you know, I had to hunker down, get the full-time job, man. Lost about 25 pounds within the last year or so. Getting my 40 hours a week. Got myself some life insurance. Get yourself some life insurance. Until Elon Musk makes the technology to make us immortal, it is important to get that life insurance, man. Because it don't even cost that much money, man. A lot of y'all cats be paying money. I probably got 10 OnlyFans subscriptions with no life insurance. It's pitiful, man. And there's benefits to having life insurance. Not only do you take care of your loved ones when you pass on, you don't want to leave any financial burdens to your loved ones. But if you've lived an average, uneventful life, but you have a good policy, that's the only thing everybody gonna remember, man. They gonna forget the fact that you was a dirty, filthy hoarder, because you breaking them off with a policy. They ain't gonna forget the fact that you never return appliances when you borrow them, because you breaking them off with a policy. And me, I'm happy I got my life insurance, because before I got my coverage, the only thing I was going to leave my family is my PlayStation. And I don't got that many games. I got a real limited library. Got the game that come with the system. And it's the PS4. It's not even the PS5. At least I could step it up and get the latest console. You have to elevate in life. You can't stay stuck in the same place. That's why, for the first time in 10 years, I got myself some new bed covers. I got myself some new sheets. Men don't care about new sheets unless they have a woman. I have a woman, so I got myself some new sheets. If not for my lady, I would ride my covers until the wheels fall off. We don't do it for us. We do it for the buns. But the tariffs is high, the taxes is high, gas is high, eggs are astronomical. He promised us $5,000. Where the Doge money at? Where the Doge money? I love omelets. And I love breakfast more than I love bedding. So you know what I had to do? I got my sheets from the Dollar General. And if you know anything about those Dollar General sheets, they got a real low thread count. They're very, very coarse. It's like you laying inside a bowl of shredded wheat. You need a pedicure just to get in your bed comfortably. Because you hop in the bed with those corn chips feet in that shredded wheat bed, you're liable to cause a fire. I think that's how the Blazers got started a few weeks back up in Canada. Some dude hopped in a shredded wheat bed with the corn chip feet with no pedicure. Now, half of Montreal is gone. Half of Montreal was in the blaze. Gotta step your game up in life. I've been with my woman for the past 24 months. And this is the most faithful I've been in the past 10 months. I'm kidding. She's short. If I cheat, she'll stab me in my shins. Plus, she's Puerto Rican, she's petite, and she's a professional lawyer. You know what that means? That is my life insurance policy. That's the person that's taking care of me. That is my coverage. My coverage is my woman. I love my lady. You know what I'm saying? When we was on the verge of breaking up. You know, you start to learn things about people, all their idiosyncrasies when you're with them for over a year. And even though she supports me, she adores me, she ain't too good in the domestic area. My lady don't use no fabric softener on the laundry. Zero. When I put on my work clothes, they be all crunchy and stiff. I be feeling like Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz. And this is gonna get the black people furious. She only used one dryer sheet for 2 loads of clothes. One dryer sheet for 2 loads of clothes. Black people use 7 dryer sheets for 1 pair of drawers. 7 dryer sheets for 1 pair of drawers. And she mixes the colors with the whites. I said, this is not the dream that Dr. King had in mind. When it comes to mixing my colors and whites, I'm the Grand Wizard of Washington. Very, very racist. All my wife beaters was pink. So when you look at my underwear drawer, I seem like the biggest supporter of breast cancer awareness. I'm getting older, man. I'm 47 years old, and I'm happy I made it there. Because black people don't be living that long, especially black males. Between diabetes, police brutality, child support, and the COVID vaccine, we are an endangered species. And as you get older, priorities change. When I was young, I could not wait to get to the club. Now that I'm older and I get to the club, I can't wait to go to bed. Happy hour is sleepy time. Siesta is my fiesta. You get strange injuries when you get older too. Like 2 weeks ago, I tore my ACL playing basketball. In my dreams, I hit the game when it shot Kobe. Now I gotta take ice baths with my bubble baths, using Bengay like it's lotion, going on my dates smelling like a hospital bed, hospitally fresh. But I realized I was getting old when I realized I really do enjoy the taste of a pastrami Reuben. And for those that's an old school sandwich with old school ingredients, come with Swiss cheese, Thousand Island, sauerkraut, that's convalescent cuisine. I have it every Thursday at 4 p.m. with a tapioca pudding and a yoo-hoo while watching the Golden Girls. I think Blanche is beautiful. And if they could bring her back to life, I would make her my boo-boo. Because Blanche got that boom, 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 boom. Thank you for being a friend. Booty, man. Blanche was beautiful. She the reason why I love older women's. I'm not talking 10 years older. I'm talking AARP. Because older ladies don't play no games. They iron your suit, read you a bedtime story, give you some of them soft, warm oatmeal, raisin cookies. You ain't never had cookies until you had grandma's soft, warm oatmeal, raisin cookies. I want to meet a lady so old if I get her pregnant by accident, she will give birth to a college graduate. That baby go from maternity to fraternity immediately. Zuma cum baby. Now, before I met my lady, I used to meet a lot of these ladies on Tinder. But at my age, most ladies I meet online brag about being 35, but I know for a fact that they're 50 because no woman brags about being 35 unless they 50. And this is my thing, ladies. When y'all get old, you know what I'm saying, y'all get insecure, y'all like to try to throw men off and lie and say that you're younger. No, that's stupid. It makes more sense to say that you're even older. Because if you 40, but you say that you're 55, they're going to be like, oh my God, look at your skin. You must be mixed. You so beautiful. You from Egypt, black don't crack. You use cocoa butter. And if you're white, do you use olive oil? You getting way more likes on your Facebook pictures. You getting heart likes. You getting stalked on a regular basis. You getting random money from strangers. But if you 40 and you try to say that you 25, they're gonna be like, yeah, right. I could tell by the wrinkles on your hands. The turkey neck is a dead giveaway. Because I had this date with this chick the other day, you know what I'm saying? She had a turkey neck. She tried to lie about her age. I told her a couple of jokes. I made her laugh. She was like, I said, did this chick just gobble Thanksgiving like in a few months? What, I gotta bring cranberry sauce on the first date? Gravy, cologne? She want me to stuff that bird. That's what she wants. She want me to give her some stuffing. Ladies, if you're getting older, the cheapest plastic surgery is to say that you're even older. If you 50, say you 75. If you 75, say you 95. And if you 95, just say you dead, man. Like, dad, baby, you look up. How old are you? I'm dead. Like, you the most beautiful corpse I ever seen in my life. I met her at the graveyard. I was really digging her. She was my cemetery Cinderella. Her glass slipper was extremely filthy, man. Dirty! 47 years old, man. I'm not exactly old. I'm entry-level old. I'm just paying my fare to get into the club old, you know what I'm saying? When you over 40, you know what I mean? That's like you paying your fare in the club of being old. And when you over 50, that's like you in the courtroom of the club of being old. And when you over 60, that's like you in the dance floor of the club of being old. And when you over 70, that's like you in the bathroom of the club of being old. And when you over 80 and 90 and above, that's like you in the elevator of the club of being old, man. And as I get older, you know what I'm saying? Things start to bother me, you know what I'm saying? Things start, like sounds start to seem louder. You know what I'm saying? Lights seem to get brighter. Don't it seem like everybody have their high beams on at night when you getting older for all my 40 and overs? And I'm an aggressive driver in that situation. Like if you coming in my direction and I feel like you got your high beams on, I'm flickering you. I'm flickering you. I'm flickering you. But most times when I do that, their lights get even brighter. They didn't have their high beams on. It's just my eyeballs is getting older. Getting real irritated with just things in general in life. I'm starting to get very, very annoyed by CVS. It is the most frustrating place on the planet. They always out of stock, understaffed, and they put everything behind the glass case. They put toothpaste behind the glass case. They put deodorant behind the glass. They put condoms behind glass case. And I'm thinking to myself, since when did shoplifters become so sexually responsible? If you late for work, gotta take a leak, or your ladies in labor never stop at a CVS because you don't miss all those things. Like I told you, they're always in the staff, and when you're trying to get the condoms behind the glass case, you push that button. Boom! Nobody ever comes to the front because it's always just one 16-year-old clerk running the entire store. She running the front, she running the pharmacy, she running security, she taking out the trash, she doing everything. And it's always an elderly woman in the front of the line with a Bible-long list of coupons, holding up life, trying to get a discount on some Friskies, and this chick don't even got no cat. She just likes feeding all the felines in the neighborhood because she thinks she's the Mother Teresa of the kitties. And she feels like she's been overcharged and she wants the 16-year-old clerk to get her a discount. But the girl's only 16. You got to be a manager to get that special card to get those prices lowered. But the old lady don't care. She still has to get away. She's like, pardon. In aisle 5, it says the Friskies are 4 for $5.99. You're trying to charge me $6.99. I need you to mark that down. And I need you to make a Western Union to my grandson, Jimmy. I love my Jimmy. He needs the money. In our free time, we would watch Charlie Chaplin movies together. I told Jimmy what that was my boyfriend. He didn't believe me, but I had the Polaroids as the proof. He had such a beautiful mustache. He inspired Adolf Hitler, not the genocide, just the facial hair. That's what you're dealing with when you stop at a CVS. You'll get fired from your job. You're going to die from a bladder infection. Your lady going to have a baby in the front seat, all because you decided to stop at a CVS. I love doing shows in different places, but even though I'm a bigger guy, I don't like confrontation. I'm always concerned about the thugs that are going to be there. And I heard there was a lot of thugs in these suburbs. But you thugs are weird. You thugs are kind of strange. Y'all the type of thugs that'll like steal my identity, but then improve my credit. And there's nothing wrong with good credit, but you can't go from 500 credit to 800 one day. It's going to raise some red flags. My black behind going to get thrown in prison. And prison is not a good look for me. Because in the streets, I know y'all thought this, I look like George Foreman. But in prison, I look like Amber Rose. For those that don't know, that's Kanye West's ex-girlfriend. She has a bald head, big booty, light skin, just like me. In prison, we're practically identical twins. And you don't want to be Amber Rose's twin in prison, Playboy. You will become the main course. That's like being beef patties around Jamaicans. That's like being spaghetti around Italians. That's like being cats around Asians. And I know that may make some of y'all moan and groan, but we know for a fact the meat texture on the Chinese food is different. You thought that was General Tso's chicken. That's General Tso's kitten. And when you eat it too fast, you burp, you go, meow. And I know that sounds kind of racist, but when I wrote that joke, there were no Asians in the room, and it is okay to talk junk about folks if they're not in the room. I learned that from white people. Now, as far as I know, I don't have any children. As far as I know. And my mom's always be getting on me, always be pressuring me. Talking about, Mo, when you gonna make me some kids? Mo, when you gonna make me some grandkids? I said, when you let me have company past 10 p.m., I can't afford rent and hotels. My mother is a hater. This is preposterous. And this is the thing, like, my mother recently got saved. My mother recently found Christ. So she's no longer fornicating. She's no longer doing funny business in the house. So if she's not allowed to do funny business in the house, nobody's allowed to do funny business in the house. And this some bull, because my mother don't even go to church. My mom's be sipping wine while watching YouTube sermons. My mother be sipping wine while watching T.D. Jakes, Tony Evans, and Joe Osteen. And I'm like, dang, Mom, why is you sipping wine? Why are you watching church? She's like, what you talking about? This is the blood of Christ. This is directly from the Bible. This is in Ecclesiastes. This is the Passover. I said, Mom, I understand that, but you drinking Pinot Grigio, though. It's the wrong color and bad enough. It's not even the bottle Pinot Grigio. It's the box Pinot Grigio. That Franzia with the plastic bag on the inside and the spigot on the outside. She gonna run out of wine, filling up her glass about, only God is my judge. God is my only judge. I do need to have some kids, though. I do need to have some children. But I probably shouldn't do it with my lady, because like my lady can have children. I think she can still have children, but she's 47. I'm 47. And you can't mix old eggs with old sperm. You're going to get elderly children. My baby going to come out crying like Joe Biden. Where? I need some milk. Give me some milk. Where? Let me sniff your hair. It makes me feel so comfortable. Baby going to come out talking like Morgan Freeman. And I was in the womb for 9 long months. And the doctor grabbed me by the head with the forceps and introduced me to the cruel, cold world. So you know what that means? I'm going to have a side baby. But I plan to be successful enough to take care of them side babies. If Cardi B could deal with it, my girl could deal with it once I get on that level. Right? And I'm getting my side baby from Africa. I got to have myself a side baby with a beautiful chocolate African sister. You want to know the main reason why? Because the infomercials in the 80s and the 90s and Sally Struthers told me it only costs 25 cents a day to raise a healthy African black baby, man. That's only $7.50 per month. I can afford that. I pay more for Disney Plus, and I don't even watch it. Just like how I'm not going to watch that baby. Because my dad never watched me. I'm following in my father's footsteps, which happen to be not so big because he's only 5'6". He has very little shoes. Now, honestly, at this age, at 47, I'm aging myself. Having children is probably not the best idea. Because like the older I get, like my vision is getting worse. You know what I'm saying? So I got to wear these reader's glasses, right? And I got a bunch of readers all over the house, man. And before I go to bed, you know, I got the readers on. I'm looking at my phone, you know, updating stuff. But I can't sleep with the readers on. So normally, you know, when I go to sleep, I take them off and I put them in the bed. But I got so much mass in my body that I create this gravitational pull in the center of my mattress, and it becomes a black hole. And I crushed 4 different readers in the event horizon, man. And I'm thinking to myself, if I had a brand new newborn and a baby, that would be his fate. He wouldn't be able to come out of that event horizon, yo. I couldn't live through no situation like that, crushing no baby with my gravitational pull. That's why, in some ways, it's a blessing getting older, man. Because if I didn't get older, my eyes wouldn't get older. If my eyes wouldn't get older, I wouldn't have the readers. And if I didn't have readers, I wouldn't use them in bed. And if I didn't use the readers in bed, they would have never got crushed. And if the readers would have never got crushed, I wouldn't have known that my girth creates a black hole in the mattress where anything gets sucked in, but it never comes out, including the babies, man. So sometimes getting old is a blessing. Yo, that's all I'm giving y'all. I don't know for a fact if I'm going to do all those. The gravitational pull joke is kind of new, but I got guts, man. Like, I feel like the way I perform and deliver it, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I can perform it pretty well. And if it bombed, if the joke don't work, if I lost the people, you know what I'm saying, whatever, I'm gonna make a joke about it bombing and not making no sense. Well, so you know what I mean. But with that being said, man, I hope y'all friends have a wonderful weekend. And as I tell all my young and up and coming comedians, there's no such thing as writer's block. The comedy guys have not given you anything new to scribe on that page. It is their way of telling you to work on and work out the things they already gave you. Stay away from the gossip, stay away from the rumors, stay away from the nonsense, stay away from the negativity, stay away from the foolishness, focus on the funny and lead with love, because life is not something that happens in spite of you. Life is an experience for you to behold, so get to beholding. Have a great weekend. I'm going to record my set. Hopefully I get some great clips out of this. I'll talk to y'all Monday, episode 114. We're going to be on episode 115 this Monday. Peace.